Did they really just do that? That's how I felt when my ex blocked me. What did I do? We'll talk about that, but first let's talk about your situation, because your situation could be different from mine. I think a general good rule of thumb here is to not act immediately. Don't just grab your phone and call them, and don't text them, and don't do everything you can to try to get their attention back. If you've already done that, that's okay. There's no perfect way to do these things. But I know that when my ex blocked me, I was freaking out. I was pissed off. I was upset. Again, I was like, did that really just happen? And I wanted to take action. I was angry in the moment, so I kind of wanted to get revenge or do something nasty, but that was not probably the best thing to do, and I'm glad that I stopped myself and took some time to breathe. Chances are that you had an intimate relationship with your ex in some way, so this hurts, and it probably brings up a lot of strong emotions in you, which is natural and normal and makes sense, because when somebody's pulling away from you, that's our body's response to a loss, to an intimate loss. It's normal to go into panic. It's normal for your mind to start racing and for you to start thinking about how you can get them back and how you can take control of the situation. What's important to realize here, though, is sometimes when we're in this panic state, we are not engaging the part of our brain that does the rational thinking, the logical thinking, that carefully thinks things through without so strong of emotions. That doesn't mean the emotions won't be there. Emotions are good to help inform our decisions, but when emotions are running our decisions, probably not the best way to make decisions. So it could even be a good sign that you're watching this video. Maybe you stopped yourself and you are taking the time to breathe. If you're not already, pay attention to your breath. If it's rapid, if you're freaking out, maybe slow things down a little bit. Take a break, get something to eat, have a drink of water, take a moment, do what it takes for you to feel good and relaxed. That's going to be different for everybody, but take a breather. Although I can feel like it, the world is not falling apart. This is not something that has to be permanent. It's not defining anything. Usually we get like panicked and we think very narrowly about like right now, and what does this mean right now, and we blow it up really, really big and make it like it's the entire world, but really it's not. In 5 years, is this really going to make that much of a difference? Maybe, probably not. So give yourself a moment to just settle in and accept that it happened. It happened. It may not even be a permanent thing. It could be done in an hour. While you're taking a breather, think about what is it that you actually want. Do you really care that your ex has blocked you? Is your ex somebody that you really want to be communicating with? Are you like me and probably a lot of other people? Were you constantly checking social media to see what was going on with your ex and now you're mad that you can't do that anymore? That's a natural reaction, but really, was that making you feel good to be doing that all the time? Was it making your thoughts better? Was it making your life positive? For me, I think I definitely felt like it was, but when I really got down to it, it really wasn't doing anything for my life. It was just taking up time, making me stressed out, and really, I didn't need to see what my ex was doing. Yes, I think knowing what my ex was doing was helping me to make like decisions and to get a better context around what was going on and the breakup and how things were going to look from now. But really, I didn't need that information to make the decisions that I needed to make. And I think it was hard for me to see that in the moment when it happened, when he blocked me. But as time went on, I realized, like, really, okay, he blocked me, but I could just use that as another piece of information to show where his mindset was at and how things were going to look from here on out. And that's really the next thing that I would ask you to consider here is, why do you think that they blocked you? In my case, it was pretty obvious. My ex, I was trying to stay friendly with him, and he blatantly lied to me about something, and I don't know, maybe it wasn't really a big deal, but it really was a big deal to me, and that's all that really matters. So when it came down to it, I called him out on his lie, and he immediately blocked me. Truthfully, that's because he wasn't used to me calling him out on things, and whenever I did, even in the relationship, that's when I would get the silent treatment. That's when he would start treating me like I wasn't a person, like we weren't in a relationship. So I shouldn't really have been surprised that he did this, and to be honest, I really wasn't, but it made sense. And it kind of showed me that, you know, even though we were breaking up and that was painful enough, like, he's not even ready to be a friend, because a friend doesn't just block you because you call them out on their shit. That was my situation, but your situation could be different. Maybe they're feeling hurt about something. Maybe my ex was hurt that I called him out. Maybe he, you know, I'm interpreting it as he just couldn't handle it, and maybe, I don't know, maybe that hurt him to the point where he felt like he needed to block me so that he wouldn't say something to me that was mean, or he wouldn't look like the bad guy in the situation. Maybe he felt guilty, you know, but Does it really matter in the end? No. For you, it might matter though, because our pattern had been like that. Our relationship had been like that, where he constantly avoided things and he constantly wouldn't take responsibility for things. So by the time we got to this, like, it was obvious to me. For you though, your relationship might have been softer than mine. It may not have been so aggressive, back and forth, chaos all the time like I had experienced. For example, maybe you have kids together and your ex doesn't want to say something that might get back to the kids, or maybe you're going through divorce proceedings and he just thought, or she just thought that, or they just thought that this was the best way to proceed from here. Or maybe they just feel like their privacy is being invaded. Whatever it is, you know your ex best and you can probably come up with a good reason. But I want to make sure here that we're challenging our reasons and we're not just going with that emotion that we feel at first. Remember, we want to be calm and we want to be rational when we think about these things. So do this at a time when you're more calm, when maybe after a few days have passed. Think about why that might have happened, what the reason might have been. Maybe you can ask them. Maybe you're still in contact with your ex in person. Maybe you still live together. Think about asking them, what's that about? When we're panicked, we tend to go to like the worst possible situation and we tend to get either really angry or really depressed about what just happened. But remember, that's just the way that our mind thinks in these situations. Once things calm down, maybe we can see that there are good reasons why your ex might have done that. For example, even though I'm painting my ex in this very negative way, I was also constantly pushing over what I think he was comfortable with. I was always trying to contact him and stay in touch, even though he was trying to create distance between us. So that's another reason why he would have blocked me. I think it's important, and it's really, really hard to do in the moment, to not take this so personally. Don't take it like it's a personal flaw, like you did something wrong, like you shouldn't have said what you said, like you shouldn't have done what you did. Okay, maybe it was a bad behavior. I don't know. It's possible. We all have bad behaviors. I definitely had bad behaviors during a breakup. It's kind of gonna happen. The best of us doesn't come out during a breakup. But it's okay to mess up. It's okay to get emotional. It's okay to do things wrong. Like I said, there's no perfect way to do a breakup, and it's only natural that you're going to make decisions based on emotion sometimes. That's all right. It's okay if your ex does it too and blocks you. And this is why I'm trying to say, like, open up your mind here a little bit more, which is hard in the moment, but it's something that's going to help you make the best decisions, and try to have a little bit of compassion for what's going on here. In my case, that was really hard. I knew what he was avoiding, why he was avoiding it, and I didn't appreciate this treatment of me. So when he finally unblocked me months later, I went ahead and blocked him. Really, for me, I think that this was a positive that he blocked me and then I again blocked him, because really the way things were going between the two of us, it just wasn't going to work out in any positive way. So I think that was a good time for me to focus on myself, work on myself and the things that I needed to do. And it's not like I was going to be able to change him anyway or change his behavior. And seeing all the stuff on social media was not helping me. So in the end, I think it was a good thing. And I would encourage you too to try to see what are the positives in this. I know right now it probably looks like it's only negative, but maybe this is a good thing. Maybe you've been having a lot of arguments. Maybe you've been stressing out, losing sleep over this. And maybe this is the final trigger to get you to move towards a direction of focusing on yourself and maybe figuring out how to move on from here. In fact, I'm going to challenge you here. What could be a positive of your ex blocking you? Let me know in the comments.